It was Christmas at last, and from the door to the deck, not a creature was stirring, excepting the Hipster Snek. There he was, playing games into the night, knowing that Santa would soon be in sight. Let us eavesdrop upon him now as he begins another game review to entertain us all, including me and you.
Yes, it is Christmas Eve for certain, of that I am right. The presents are wrapped and the snow fresh and white. But there aren't many holiday-themed games, so on a lark, let us instead reminisce upon a game called South Park. The Stick of Truth. Yeah, okay, we're nixing the rhyming scheme thing. This isn't going to hold up for an entire review episode. I just don't have it in me. Yes, I will admit that it's weird to have this kind of association, but hear me out on this one. Where I grew up as a small snack, it snowed every year around the holidays, sometimes before, usually after, but the winter season was always greeting card standard. Now in Sneckburg, I don't get that luxury. It just doesn't snow here. And more to the point, South Park was born from two paper cutout animated short films, both named The Spirit of Christmas. It's had several Christmas-themed and Christmas-adjacent episodes ever since its 1997 debut. And it's a cultural phenomenon, whether you love it or you hate it. And so when I see snow and want something entertaining, it is a regular go-to for me. So I wanted to...
Snek, it's an emergency. I need your help.
Yeah, I was kind of in the middle of something. Also, the door was locked. How did you get in here?
That's not important right now. Someone has stolen Christmas.
Explain to me how someone steals a time of year.
Snek, this is a disaster. If we don't find out who is responsible, nobody's gonna get presents tomorrow morning.
So, is this a How the Grinch Stole Christmas kind of story? Or are we shooting for Santa Claus Conquers the Martians? And why am I the one getting roped into this anyway?
Does it matter? Everyone has to save Christmas at least once in their careers. Plus, you're my friend, so I know I can count on you to jump right up and help me out. 'Cause if I don't get my new graphics card under my tree tomorrow, someone's going to pay.
Dog, you are a grown woman. Go buy a new graphics card. Also, you buy new graphics cards like every other month. What difference does this one make anyway?
Snek, if you don't help me, and as a result, I don't get my new shiny GPU, I'll tell Hipster Cow your new home address.
You know, I don't barge into your home and start threatening death upon you. But fine, I'll help you. On the condition I get to finish my game review before the night is over.
That works for me. Why don't you start, and then we'll break to go over some usual suspects.
Released in 2014 for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Windows PCs, The Stick of Truth picks up after Season 17 of the show, which, as an aside, is probably the best thing Game of Thrones ever caused. Seriously, what absolute, utter pop culture flotsam. Anyway, when the story opens, we follow the new kid, our own original South Park boy. Well, to be fair, it's assumed to be a boy because there's no option to play as a girl, technically speaking. But the sequel, The Fractured But Whole, potentially retcons this by letting you be whatever you want. But everyone is going to refer to you as a boy, at least for now. In fact, they refer to you as D-Bag as a name, no matter what you input.
Wait, D-Bag? They actually say...
Yes, I know that. But I'm not sure how many times I'm allowed to say that before YouTube starts demonetizing my videos. And after Disney copyright claimed last year's episode until time passed to release the claim, yeah, not risking it this year.
No, seriously, that actually happened. Turns out, if you contest a claim and the company doesn't respond in a set amount of time, they automatically release it. Crazy, right? Snek actually beat Disney Corporation in a technical sense.
The new kid is, well, new in the fictional town of South Park, Colorado. The family recently moved due to an undisclosed prior incident that the new kid seems incapable of recalling. Thrust into his new environs, he boldly sets out to meet his new neighbors. Unfortunately for him, the first power player he ends up running into is Eric Cartman.
Speaking of rep bits, let's return to the sketch comedy bits. So, who do we need to shake down first? Want me to be bad cop? I could break some kneecaps if you want.
I literally have no conception of what that's like. So go nuts. Anyway, it's almost certainly hipster hair. Guy's got a grudge a mile long.
Actually, if I had to guess, it's probably... No, certainly not him.
What makes you say that?
This postcard he sent us. Have a look.
Greetings from Australia, you 11 schmucks.
You 11
I am here
schmucks.
having a wonderful
I am here having a wonderful time in the down under summer weather, and you're not. Did you know Santa comes here via surfboard? So glad you're not here. Ha
ha ha ha ha ha ha ha ha ha.
I feel that was probably too smug for his situation.
All right, so nix that one. What about Snekina? She steals stuff all the time, even without altogether knowing why. I guess the problem would be in finding her, though.
Oh, good call. Don't worry, I can find her.
Wait, you already know where she is?
No, but don't forget, my ears are the best of the 12 of us. All we have to do is listen for her maniacal laughter and we'll find her in no time. And to prevent us from needing a scene transition, why don't you resume your game review?
Excellent call. Let's touch briefly on the graphics and sound. So, you ever, seen South Park? Or heard any of it? Well, congratulations! You understand completely what the game looks and sounds like. See, I'm not being sarcastic here. While the original short films were made in a paper cutout stop-motion style, South Park as a show was actually done via computer animation, simulating that paper style. This simplicity is why South Park has been able to make episodes at lightning-fast speeds, and been able to make episodes featuring very recent current events and pop culture trends.
Because they have about the same amount of animation as we do?
Nonsense. They have at least 3 or 4 poses each. We're just paper dolls on popsicle sticks. Our mouths don't even move.
Snek, sis, kfabi.
And the original voice cast, all 6 of them, are here and accounted for. Honestly, the game just embraces the South Park aesthetic so well. It really is like playing an episode of the series, just a longer one with extra fiddly bits and interactivity. Maybe this is proof positive that games need to give up that whole dated my graphics can out-graphics your graphics argument and focus on their style instead.
Respectfully disagree, but do go on.
Oh, and how can I not mention the music? Not only do the background music tracks work very well for setting the mood, but several contain Easter eggs and references to the songs that were peppered throughout the series up until the launch of the game. Songs from the movie soundtrack, several from across multiple episodes, and many more await throughout the game. If you're a long-standing fan of the series, you're going to appreciate the backlog here.
Founder!
Oh, did you do some kind of impressive sleuth work while I wasn't looking?
No. I listened carefully for someone maniacally laughing to herself for any and all reasons and found her in 2 seconds. But you were having so much fun with the game, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, in interest of fairness, I do love the game. Now, let's go bust these Christmas-stealing ne'er-do-wells.
Ne'er-do-wells? Are you 100 years old?
All right, Snekina, Wait, Hipster Rap?
Hey, Snek, what's up?
Why are you two so buddy-buddy anyway? Isn't it listed in his official profile that he has an instinctual fear of you or something?
Something supposed to be versus character actor joke something. How are things in Kate's Crossing anyway?
Why don't you tell me when you head it my way again?
In October. Part 2 this year, I promise. That aside, we're on to your weird, pointless plot, so let's just get this over with so I can finish my review.
Yes, that's right. I, Snekina, the mastermind of our generation, is definitely the culprit of, whatever it is you're accusing me of.
You don't even know?
No, I mean, yes. Of course I know. I'm the ultimate villain. So obviously, if there's evil afoot, I must have hatched it.
But not really. We were joining forces to see if we could extort people for money with a new scheme. But it didn't really go anywhere. Turns out all the good schemes are taken.
Wait, really?
Yeah, man. Turns out the government's done them already.
Oh, biting social commentary.
So the best we've managed so far was when I set up a live stream and asked Snekina play DDR.
You made Alamia play Dance Dance Revolution?
Funniest thing I've seen in a while. So totally worth the trouble to set it up.
Hey!
Speaking of games, what are you reviewing today, Snek?
Oh, South Park, The Stick of Truth.
Oh ho, good tastes. Yeah, at the start of the game, you join Cartman in his backyard, or the kingdom of Koopa Keep, because subtlety. And join in their game of Knights in Fantasy, like Cartman, the Grand Wizard, or Princess Kenny, or the noticeably less outrageous Paladin Butters. Your new kid also gets to pick a class from 4 options. Is it okay for me to say them?
Nah, it's okay. It's culture. But so that I can be the only one anyone cancels, the classes you can pick from are the Fighter for tanky powerful builds, Thieves for quick and agile bandits, Wizards for spell-slinging fun, and Jew, which specializes in, and I swear I'm not making this up, Jiu-Jitsu and long-ranged combat. My personal favorite is the Fighter because I am basic, but you'll not go wrong and you'll get a little bit of everything before the game is over regardless.
Armor and weapons aren't class locked anyway, so you'll have the ability to customize any way you'd like as you go through the game. You'll get a melee weapon, a ranged weapon, and a magic regardless.
Yes. Magic. The type that makes my nose wrinkle up even worse than the existence of Hipster Monkey.
You gonna get around to putting him in one of these specials at some point or what, Snek?
Working on it. Maybe next year. Also, why are you guys reviewing the game for me?
So we have more speaking role in this video.
Combat is done in a turn-based format, with action time inputs. Think of the Mario RPGs and you have the right idea. This works for attacking with greater strength and also for blocking incoming enemies' attacks. And you'll want to get good at it too, as healing is mostly tied to items, most of which you'll have to forage to find.
Actually, it's worth mentioning that the town of South Park is, for the first time, given a canon layout, and you're able to basically explore to your heart's content. Along the way, you'll find items, collectibles like the adorable Chim Pokemon toys or small change, which still serves as money in this RPG adventure. Remember, we're playing 8 and 9-year-olds, so 50 cents goes a long way. So you get your class abilities, your friends, and their tools, and set out into the broader world to fight in the war between the humans and the elves. Oh, Kyle and company are the elves, in case that wasn't obvious already.
Right, and you don't actually have to pick a side per se. The story will see to it that you meet most of the major movers and shakers of South Park, Colorado, including many of the adults, several of which, including Randy Marcia and Morgan Freeman, who is just hanging around for some reason, will help instruct you in gameplay tutorials and sometimes just farting around. Sometimes literally farting around.
Oh, and let's just say, once you learn the recipe for what constitutes the meta in this game, you'll shatter the difficulty over your knee. In SOT, the king of DOTs. If you can get bleeding, sickness, burning, drunk, and poison all on one target, they won't be around to bother you long. And getting these is pretty easy, and your vast array of armament will ensure you most, if not all, of these and more. Yes, there's a reason people consider this among the easier South Park video games out there.
That doesn't stop the game from being fun, mind. It has that South Park charm for sure. The game is shameless and...
Wait a second. We're missing the point here. Christmas is a few hours away and I'm in danger of not getting my visit from Santa.
Oh wow, that's actually serious. You guys are researching who stole Christmas?
We are. Any information you have would be appreciated.
Especially as we're nearing the end of both the review and the 3-act structure.
Oh, it's just Rooster.
What?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised you didn't put it together already. But here's his address. Go ask him about it and save a time of year.
We have our lead. Let's do this thing, Snek.
Sure, okay. Still not really sure why this involves me, but thanks for the obligatory cameos.
Anytime.
Next time, I'll be ready with a real plan even. Next year, maybe. Probably.
Oh, hello.
Wait, hang on a sec. You were just a couple paces off screen?
Always have been. Doesn't my voice sound the slightest bit familiar? Like how I've been the narrator since the second April Fool's episode going forward?
Oh yeah, it does add up, actually. It is a really nice voice.
Thank you.
But why?
Oh, well, you asked me to be the narrator, and I logically assumed that you...
No, I don't mean that. I mean, why did you steal Christmas bit? Also, how?
Why? I'll tell you why. Did you know every year in Japan, people order chicken for Christmas?
I think I was dimly aware of this fact. Like there was some kind of KFC promotional and it became a traditional thing there or something like that.
Precisely. And I, hipster who oversees all things weeaboo, love Japan. So, as a rooster, you must understand my dilemma here.
And here I thought dog eat dog was bad enough.
So you somehow stole a major holiday to prevent you and yours from being eaten. Is that what we're taking away from all of this?
Well, I'm also adamantly against the over-commercialisation and the fact that people are trying to start the thing about midsummer nowadays too, if that helps.
You think it's bad now? Wait till Christmas really does start in April. Who will save you then?
But thanks to my efforts, that holiday will never come again.
Could I just maybe politely ask you to stop?
Wait, seriously? That's all it's gonna take?
Well, I don't like to cause a fuss, so how about this? You two put in a good word with Hipster Dragon for me, and I'll put everything back in time for Santa to make his rounds.
That's awesome. Let's do it.
Sure, but you have a thing for dragon?
Apex Weeaboo, remember? She's a literal dragon.
Okay. I accept this at face value and with no further explanation, chiefly because easy is good. That being said, since we're at the tail end of all this, would you want to help me wrap up this game review?
I'd be delighted.
Anyway, South Park, The Stick of Truth, is South Park both in appearance and in its spirit. It has all the crass, careless, over-the-top humor you've come to expect. You fart on bad guys, you swat enemies in the shins with marital aids, you have to square off against crab people, old people, Nazi zombie babies, and give Randy Marsh a... Well, I'm not sure I can actually say it without getting demonetized. Let's just say that you give him a really bad time.
You don't know the half of it. In the Australian version of the game, that entire scene is literally censored out of the game, with crying cartoon Australian animals and a text description of what's supposed to be happening put in view instead. In fact, 7 scenes were either cut or heavily reworked in the PAL release of the game to get around the more stringent content standards in Australia and European countries, with obvious things like all Nazi imagery being cut in the German version of the game, as one might expect.
Oh man, I did not see that one coming.
I guess the safest way of explaining it is, if you like South Park, you'll love The Stick of Truth. And if you didn't like it to begin with, this is not the experience that's going to make you suddenly see the light. As RPGs go, it's lightweight, breezy, pretty simple, and a relaxed romp, mechanically. But honestly, I think that's South Park at its strongest. It's just the boys playing a game of active imagination, where a mere stick they just decided was story relevant became, indeed, story relevant due to circumstances beyond their control. And things just get sillier and sillier. I think it's an excellent onboarding point and a great continuation for fans of the series.
From making an original character in the new kid, to the customization, exploration, and engaging story through-line, Stick of Truth exemplifies the strengths of a media franchise that always managed to find a way forward by pushing people's buttons. And the game is no exception. The engaging way it blends itself into the overarching narrative of the Podunk mountain town adds to its charm, and allows players an in to immerse themselves among the children of South Park. And while its sequel, Fractured But Whole, expands on these ideas further in really creative ways, there's no denying the charm and ease of access Stick of Truth provided, nor the hours of sheer fun and engagement. And I think that's all she wrote, don't you, Snek?
Oh, I should say so.
Huh. I guess after all that, everything worked out okay. We saved Christmas, Rooster isn't getting dunked into a deep fryer, and Snek actually got off his lazy tail and wrote a script for the first time in over a year.
Barely. We almost didn't finish this in time.
Yeah, that sucks. Anyway, it's nearly midnight now, so I'm going to bed now. Bye.
Please stop doing that. It wasn't funny the first time.
Bye.
Snek!
Well, I guess with him gone, we can chill now.
Subscribe to Bunnisaurus where I play video games.
Hey, subscribe to Vintage 8 where analog horror rules the day.
And you will eventually, hopefully soon, be able to sub to The Lone Arranger, where I make amazing musical renditions for your listening pleasure. Merry Christmas, everyone.
You guys know it's not actually Christmas, right?
Yes.
No.
Santa left me a gift. Oh boy, I hope it's a sequel to Parasite Eve, or to Breath of Fire, or maybe even Parappa the Rapper.
Let's not get our hopes up too high, Snecko. Here, open your present.
Okay. Big brother, I can't believe it.
What is it, Snecko?
It's my character motivation. Santa finally brought it to me after all these years, at long last.
Well, don't leave us all in suspense, Snecko. Tell us what it is.
Okay, my character motivation is...
Hey, Dragon, I was just thinking...
No, I'm not dating Hipster Rooster. Stop asking.
Well, all right then. I held up my end of the bargain. Time to go home now. Oh, happy April Fools, everybody.
Why don't you start and we'll break to go over some of the usual suspects. Bleh. I'm gonna redo that one. Ayy! Oh my god. Snek, sis, cafe. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Oh, please let me know. Snek, sis, cafe. And getting these is pretty easy and very... bleh. Oh, okay, let me redo that one. And here I thought, dog eat cat... Oh my god, why did I... apologize. You could add this to bloopers if you want. It's really bad. I'm really bad at doing things when I'm tired. Okay. Woohoo! That's awesome. Let's do it. Woohoo! That's awesome. Let's do it. But, I'm sorry. Snake! Snek. Sorry, I kind of want to do the snack, snack, snack. Dog got her new graphics card for Christmas after all. Also upgraded her copy of Temple OS. Subscribed to Bunnisaurus. Not sure if I was supposed to read that out or not, but I decided to anyway.
But not really. We were joining forces to see if we could extort... blah. But not really. We were joining forces to see if we could extort people for money with a new scheme, but it didn't really go anywhere. Turns out all the good schemes are taken. Do that other one again. So the best we've managed so far was out. So the best we've managed so far was when I set up a live stream and had Snekina paid. Godly. So the best we've managed so far was when I set up a live stream and had Snekina play DDR. I think that's going to be the best I get that one. Oh ho, good tastes. Yeah, at the start of the game, you join Cartman in his backyard, or the kingdom of Koopa Keep, because subtlety, and join in their game of Knights in Fantasy, like Cartman the Grand Wizard, or Princess Kenny, or the noticeably less outrageous, or Princess Kennedy, or Princess Kenny. I'll do that line again. Like Cartman the Grand Wizard, or Princess Kenny, or the less noticeably, like Cartman the Grand Wizard, or Princess Kenny, or the less noticeably, man, I just butchered that one, like Cartman the Grand Wizard, or Princess Kenny, or the less, like Cartman the Grand Wizard, or Princess Kenny, or the less, man, I keep want to say the less noticeably. Alright, ho ho, oh ho, good tastes. Alright, picking up. Hey, subscribe to Vintage 8. Blah. Hey, subscribe to Vintage 8, where analog horror rules the day.
Big brother, Santa left me a gift. Oh boy, I hope it's a sequel to Parasite Eve, or Breath of Fire, or Parappa the Rapper. Okay. Big brother, I can't believe it. You
It's my character motivation. Santa finally brought me one after all these years, at long last. Okay, my character motivation is...